What's up, everyone? It's Q from Retro Q Gaming, and in a move that kind of surprises everyone, but doesn't at the same time, because it should have happened years ago. Not only years ago, but when the game first launched, let alone short time after or any time within the last while. But you know that game Evolve, the one that's made by Turtle Rock Studios, the guys behind Left 4 Dead. So it's the one with the big monster. It's the asymmetrical game, the 4 versus 1, that they looked really good before it came out, but then they released the beta and it was terrible, and then they released the full game and it was terrible, and then they had all the two different DLC season passes that didn't include everything, so you needed to buy both of them, and then there was still tons of microtransactions thrown in on top of it. Yeah, remember that one? Yeah, that one. So basically, yesterday it was pulled off Steam for some unknown reason, and there was a countdown added to their Turtle Rock Studios website, which will expire today at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock UK time, if you want to call it. And that points to in around roughly the actual Steam store refresh. Now, the thing about it is Turtle Rock Studios have actually come out and address the whole thing. So it's basically what everyone was expecting. They're making the game free to play, and they're going to have all the DLC included, and it's all going to be unlockable in game. It's not going to be locked behind a paywall. And they're doing a lot of work on Evolve. They're redoing a lot of the stuff and everything to go with it. Some of the core aspects of the game. Here's a quick little list. This is only a couple of things, obviously a couple of important things. But they've said they're reworking the hunter classes to make the team less reliant on having an experienced trapper or medic. They're making improvements to the maps and UI. They're improving load times, overall performance, and getting you into the game faster. They're focusing on improving stability and fixing bugs, which at this point there shouldn't even be any left. The game has been out forever. They're completely reworking their progression system and tutorials. That makes perfect sense, considering that all the DLC and all will be unlockable in-game. So they're obviously going to need to do it to factor in that. And they're adding more customization options. Not exactly sure what's in there. It's probably skins and whatever. I'm sure there's already a ridiculous amount of skins and ridiculous amount of cosmetic microtransactional stuff in the game already, so I'm sure they're working on putting tons more of that in, because that way, if the game is free to play, they're going to need a shitload more of actual, microtransactions to keep the game, or keep the money flowing in from the game. Or maybe they're doing like a loot box things in the similar style of Overwatch or something. I'm sure we'll find out later today anyway. So yeah, it's pretty much it. So it's going to launch today on the 7th of July, later today on PC, and it's going to technically be in a beta phase, as they're calling it. So there's going to be a lot of ongoing stuff. There's going to be broken stuff. There's going to be glitches, and they're touching on. We've already touched a few things on how they're improving and how they're changing it. So there's going to be a lot of stuff on top of all that over the coming months. They have said it's going to go free to play on console as well. So if you do have it on Xbox One or PS4, or sorry, if you have an Xbox One or PS4, it's going to go free to play on that at some point later on in the year. Well, we'll assume it's later on this year anyway, but it will be going free to play on your platform of choice eventually anyway. So what does that mean essentially for the people who already have the base game or some of the DLCs or whatever it is? Apparently you get something called founder status. Beyond a digital badge of, I don't even want to call it a digital badge of honor. Besides a digital badge of shame, that's what I'm calling it. I don't even know if it actually gives you anything different other than actually just saying founder status. I couldn't find anywhere to say it gives anything extra on top of it, but at the same time, I couldn't find anywhere that didn't say it didn't give you anything extra on top of it. Sorry, my voice is starting to go. So other than all of that, what I do think is kind of telltale of this whole situation is every so often I say maybe every 2 weeks, I have a quick browse around some of the in-game community forums on certain PC games on Steam. And what I'll do is I'll find a game, I'll go into the community forum. It tells you how many people are currently logged into game as it is. Having said that, I haven't seen Evolve over the maybe 400 mark in months. Literally months I haven't seen it. And like I said, I check this maybe every 2 weeks, sometimes less, sometimes more, but I can't remember seeing it over 400 in maybe this year at all. One point I turned it on like a few weeks ago and there was something like 96 people. There was less than 100 people playing it at the time. So that's pretty bad. That is pretty bad if you ask me. So it makes sense that they're trying to rejig the whole thing, and they're trying to essentially go from a terrible, terrible payment model that everyone hated and completely fractured and splintered the player base into, you know, this, the unlock, the free to play, which is the way the game should have been given the original DLC market and microtransactions market. That they're transitioning over to this, and this is going to get, hopefully, in their best case scenario, that it will actually get a lot of people to play it. I know personally I will probably give it a try later today. I'm gonna when a friend of mine gets home from work, I'm gonna get him to actually download it as well, and we're both gonna play it. He actually already has it on Xbox One, I think it is, but none of us had it on Xbox One. None of us had it on PS4 for that matter, except for him, which the Xbox One copy. But either way, now at least we can play it together. And if the game is still as bad as I remember it being, because I remember I was really psyched for Evolve. It looked really good, and you know, I'm a huge fan of Left 4 Dead, and then I was a big fan of everything that it looked about Evolve. Then I remember playing the open beta, and the game was absolute shit. So, I didn't just play one round of it and then just think, oh, this is crap, I'm never going to play this again. I played it for a good bit because I wanted to try to get the hang of the characters, the feel of the map, how everything played, the feel of the monsters, stuff like that. So I did put a decent amount of time into the beta, and I did not like it at all. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how some of the core changes and everything being redone and all the improvements, whatever. I'm gonna turn the game up to max and just play it like crazy as well, because you know it is what it is with a 1080. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So maybe you might see a little bit of footage, you might see my thoughts and opinions on the whole thing as well. So in the comment section below, let me know what you think of Evolve, what you think of Evolve on the whole DLC thing, the 2 season passes, the shitstorm, the microtransactions, and the transition to free to play. Are you going to try it? Are you going to avoid it like the plague? Are you waiting for your console release? What is it? You let me know all that anyway in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You can follow me on Twitter, details in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the rest of the videos in my channel.